Chatclient is an AI-powered platform that helps you create, train, and deploy chatbot agents for your business. In this walkthrough, I'll guide you step by step so you can see exactly how it works. We'll start with account setup, so you're ready to log in and access the workspace. From there, I'll show you the full process of building a chatbot agent, from training it on your data to customizing its actions and responses. Next, we'll explore how to manage and optimize your agents, including embedding them on your website and connecting them with integrations to capture leads or automate workflows. And finally, we'll break down the pricing plans so you'll know exactly which option fits your needs, whether you're just starting out, running small projects, or scaling up for business and agency use. All right, so now to get started is that you want to go here into the website of Chatclient. You can use the link in the description of this video to go here easily and to make sure that you have the correct site. Also, it's an affiliate link, so you'll be able to support this channel if you use that, and you'll also get some benefits like exclusive discounts. So make sure that you use that link and look out for some coupon codes in there so that you could use that for a maximum discount on the checkout page if you ever get a paid plan here. And now, once you're here in the website of Chatclient, click on Try Chatclient for free to start setting up your account. In here, you can sign in with your Google account, or you could use your email, name, password, and then password, depending on how you'd want to do this. So you have two options. I highly recommend going for Google so that it will be fast and easy. And then after that, you will now be prompted in here into your dashboard in your Chatclient account. And for now, we have a free plan right here. So we'll just be using this free plan for this demonstration. But if you would want to do more with your agent, like more capacity for messages, which is necessary if you are using this agent for real on your website, is that we'll be discussing the pricing plan later on. For now, let me demonstrate the features and how you can do this. So you just simply need to go here into My Agents at the top menu, and here you can create your agent. So you can click here on Create Agent. And in here, you can now complete the details about your agent. So let me just close this. Now, here in text, chatbot name. So I'm going to go for sample store chatbot right there for this demonstration. And in text, write in a text you wish to include in data sources. So for this example is that I'm gonna go for something like we sell clothing and accessories. Shipping takes 3 to 5 business days. Returns are accepted within 30 days with receipt. And you can add more details regarding your business or whatever you're using this chatbot for so that it would be added into its database. And now once you're done with that, you will now be prompted here into the dashboard of your Chatclient account. And in here, we have a free plan. So once you create your account, you will automatically have the free plan, but that is very limited. It is only for testing your bot in here. So if you'd want to do it for real or put it in your real website, then you want to make sure that you purchase a paid plan so that you would have enough capacity for the messages to go through, because the free plan just won't work for you if you're doing this for real. Now, you can use the link in the description if you'd want to go and set up your Chatclient right now. But we'll be discussing the pricing plans later on in this video at the end. For now, I'll be demonstrating on how you'd be able to set up your bot and how it's going to work. So now, we're going to go here into My Agents at the top menu. And in here, we can click on Create Agent. So basically in here, it will now ask us to put in the data sources for our bot. So first is that we have to fill in the chatbot name. So in here, let's say I'm going to go for Hydrate Spark Bot. So basically this brand is not affiliated with us at all. It's just that I like their brand. So I'm going to use that here as an example. I'm going to go for Hydrate Spark Water Bottle Bot. Just like that. And then in here, you can now type the text you would wish to include in the data sources. So you could actually put some data into the bot by using text. So this is basically the text data source. So let me show you what I mean. So basically we can go for something like we sell LED water bottles. water bottles that keeps the liquid inside cold or warm for for very long time. And then it can go for shipping takes 3 to 5 business days in national. I'm gonna go for national shipping. National shipping in the U.S. In the U.S. takes 3 to 5 business days right here, and then international shipping takes 1 week to 3 weeks, something like that. So here it is. So now I'm gonna add more, and returns are accepted within 30 days with receipt. Right there. So basically, you want to put in the details in here that you'd want to add on the top of your head, or maybe you already have some data prepared in the form of text. You want to copy paste that right here. So that's how you'd be able to use a text data source. But if you don't have anything in here, it's also fine. You can leave this blank if you don't want that. And then you could also go here into files. So you could also upload your files in here. So if you have your data source in a form of a PDF, text file, CSV, docs file, and so on. So for example, if you're an e-commerce store, you can upload your products in here if you want. And basically any data that you would want the bot to have knowledge about. So you would want to upload it right here. Now you could also do it in a website form. So if you have a website, for example, you're an e-commerce store, you can provide your site in here. For example, I'll be providing hydratespark.com. And in here is that it says invalid URL. So let me just go into hydratespark.com. There it is. And from here is that we can now go into this one right here. So with the HTTPS right there. So something like this should work. And now we can click on fetch link. So basically it's gonna crawl this website, or basically scan all the pages on this website so that it will be included into the data source here, or into the knowledge base of our bot. So we just have to wait for this as it is scanning the website that we have provided. And this would work really well if you are an e-commerce store online, like for example here. So basically the bot would be scanning all of this right here, including the products that is available in the site, the info, the articles, and many more, so that the bot would actually have full knowledge about that. So that's what I'm trying to achieve in here. So let's just wait for this to finish, and let's continue when it's done. Alright, it is now done, and now it has fetched or crawled all these links from this site URL that we have provided. So this would include a lot of info regarding the site, the business, or the products, because this is a store. So we could actually go to the bottom of this. Right here, as you can see, there's a lot. You can click here on add link. So in here, you can add manually if that's what you'd want. So you can input the URL right here of the page that you would want to be added into the database. And you can see here on the include sources, we have now consumed 1.8 million out of a 500,000 characters limit. So this is actually exceeding. So what we would have to do here is to delete some of this right here until we just go for the 500,000 limit. So there is actually a lot in here, but because we're only in the free plan, so we only got 500,000 right here as our limit. That is why I said that if you'd want to do this for real, you definitely have to go for a paid plan so that you would have more limit here in your database. All right, I have now cut it down to 300 characters for now. And I'm just going to include this product page right here. So I'm going to go here for the HydratSpark Pro 2 Tumblr. I'm going to copy the link here, go back into Chatclient and click on add link. And I'm going to go and add it there. There it is. And now is once you're done here with the website, with the web pages in here, now you can proceed into the next one. So you could also do some Q&A. So this is best for FAQs. So for example, some common questions here like, are you able to ship worldwide. And I'm gonna go for yes, we ship worldwide. And worldwide, the shipping time varies depending on the location. So something like that. You can click on add Q&A and then you can add more questions if needed. So for example, right here is that I'm going to say, are the materials stainless steel? I'm going to go for yes. The materials here are high quality. They do not rust. Right there. And you can click on add Q&A. So you can do the same thing again and again until you're done with all of the Q&As right here. And that's basically how you can do it here with the Q&A. And now, once you're done with everything, you have inputted every data source that you have, then now you can proceed here at the bottom and then you can now click on create agent. And from here, you just need to wait for that to be created. And it is now currently training the chatbot, as you can see right here. So this might take a few minutes. And we could see the chatbot right here, and we could actually do a demo in here. And you can see the total credits used by agent till now. So we only got 15 because we only have the free plan. And yeah, this is basically the preview in here on Chatclient. So we can try. Let's say, what are the products that you offer? And then I'm going to click here and send. And let's see on how the chatbot would respond. So as you can see, I can help you with information about Hydrate Spark products. They offer a range of smart water bottles designed to help you stay hydrated. Their main products include Hydrate Spark Pro and Hydrate Spark Pro 2. So from here, let's say I'm gonna say that, can you give me more details regarding Hydrate Spark 2? Right there, and then here it is. It's now gonna respond, and as you can see, it knows the details about that product because we have provided that with the database with the website. So as you can see, it has provided the customer this information right here, which is highly viable so that the customer would be aware of this specs or features of this product in here and would actually be convinced to buy. So this is really helpful right here so that you don't have to spend your own time in replying to your customers for their common questions or whatever questions that they may have about your product, about your business. You can just input it right here with your bot. You can input that information, feed it to the bot, and then they would be the one to talk to your client. And it's actually also very convenient for the client because they would get instant reply. They don't have to wait on you. And yeah, you don't even have to hire someone to reply to your customers in here and so on. So this is highly convenient, and as you can see, it is very effective as long as you feed it the right info about your business or your product. All right, so now next is we can also go here and we can actually attach a file or do a voice, send a voice chat right here if you'd want. Now let's go into settings. And in here, we can see our chatbot ID, number of characters, the name of our bot, and then here we have show sources. So basically, this show sources would mean that would you be okay with the bot showing the sources of its answers on where it is from? So you can go for yes or no. I typically leave this on yes so that the customer would actually be able to see on where did we put that information, like maybe in our site article about our product, we made an article and that's where the bot got that answer. So they could go into that article and actually that's free advertisement for that article and we'll get more visitors. And then we have human handover. Now, what this does is that this controls how and when a conversation handled by the chatbot is passed over to a real human agent. It's basically the bridge between automation and live support. So this is useful if you are using a human, or maybe you are the one who is answering the questions here, but while you are sleeping or when you're outside work hours, then you can let the AI or the bot here handle all the questions. So this is especially helpful for that. Then you can set this to yes if that's the case. But for me, I would want this to be fully automated. All all the work here is for the bot, so I'm gonna go for no. And now you can click here and save on your settings so that it will now be saved. And there's actually no change because we haven't changed anything here yet. I just explained everything. And here in OpenAI's instructions. So this is also very important right here. So you can see it's OpenAI right here because this is the one or the AI model that we are using for our chatbot. And here's the instruction. So primary function, you are an AI agent who helps users with their inquiries, issues, and requests. Your aim is to provide excellent, friendly, and efficient replies at all times, and so on. So basically, this is the mindset of the bot on what it is, on what it thinks its job is. So this is very important right here. So if you edit something right here, make sure that you double check that it is correct, because if this is messed up, then your bot will also be messed up. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing in here when you change this. And most of the time, you don't really need to change this, especially if you just want the bot to answer some questions regarding the customer's questions like FAQs and so on. Then you don't really need to edit anything right here. Next, we have the model. So you can choose the specific AI model that you would want to use in here. We have GPT-4o Mini, 4o, and many more. However, if you're just doing some simple questions here with your AI bot, or you think the customer is just going to ask basic, simple questions with no, that doesn't need some special thinking, then you just go for 4o Mini right here. This is the most cost-effective one. You could go for lower versions if you would want it to be much cheaper. So that's basically it. And yeah, as you can see right here, it says each message uses 1 credit except when using Claude 3 Opus model, and so on. So this would also affect on how much credits will be used per inquiry or per message here on the bot. And here we have the temperature. So this basically controls how creative or precise the chatbot's responses are. It's a parameter borrowed from AI language models, and it directly affects the style of the bot's replies. So if you're here on the low temperature, so responses are more predictable, factual, and consistent. So this would be best for bots, FAQs, or situations where accuracy matters. So you're going to go for reserved. However, if you go for the middle right here, so which is the balanced, so this is a balance between creativity and reserve right here. So this is good for conversational bots that need to be informative but still engaging. And then we also have the highly creative. So these responses here are more varied, imaginative, and less repetitive. So this is best for creative writing, brainstorming, or bots that is meant to feel more human. So that's basically the temperature here. It's also a very important setting here that you must set depending on the goal or the purpose or the vibe that you would want to be with a bot. So I'm going to click here and save. And again, no changes have been saved because we haven't changed anything. But if you did change any of this right here, don't forget to click here on save. All right. And now we'll be going into leads. So here in the leads feature, this is all about capturing potential customer information and sending it directly to your email that is listed here in the lead email. You can think of this as a built-in lead generation form that the chatbot can trigger during a conversation. So here, set your lead email because this is where the bot would send the responses to. So this is important. Once captured, the system sends the information to your designated email inbox right here. Now, you have the title in here on what the chatbot would say, like let us know how to contact you. Kindly provide your details below, or kindly provide the details below. And then here you can turn on name, email, or phone depending on what kind of info you would want to get from the customer. Like for example, you'd want to ask for the name, and then you could put the name in here, and then an email. You could say email, or you could also other names right here if you'd want to, and then the phone number. So let's say you can go for a prefix if you'd want. So let's say 63, or depending on the country code, and so on. So You could also go for note. Provide your phone number here, or something like that. But basically, that's it. So I'm gonna go for phone number instead. And then once you're done, you can click here on save so that you'd be able to save the changes. And next is that we're going to go into dashboard. So here in the dashboard is basically where you'd be able to see the history here on the conversation. So you have conversations right here on this tab. You can see conversation and then select the date range on what date range would you want to preview the conversation. So you can go, for example, today, or you could go for 10 to 14. You can do it something like this, and then you can now see human conversations and bot conversations. So first, this is bot conversations right here that the customers were asking in our bot, and then human conversations. So this is where you'd be able to see if there is someone who is conversing with the customer here in chat. This is where you'd be able to see that. So yeah, it's basically as easy as that. You could also export it if you'd want to. And then you have leads. So this is where you'd be able to see the answers that you have gotten from this lead form that we have in here that you've set up. So this is where you'd be able to see that. It is in the dashboard. So it's that easy. Next, we have analytics. So this is where you'd be able to see the stats here on the messages usage. So as you can see right here, we now have 2 credits because we have asked 2 questions to the bot, if you remember. So it took 2 credits in here. And then next, we have the integrations. So here in integration is that we have this 3 available to be integrated to our chat client. And now this would let our chatbot connect directly to these tools that our team or customers already use. But each one of this plays a different role. For example, here in Slack, this can connect Chatclient to your team Slack workspace. In that way, the bot can send notifications, escalate chat, or deliver captured leads straight into its Slack channel, which is best for internal team alerts and quick collaboration. We have Zapier. This would act as a bridge to thousands of apps like Google Sheets, Trello, CRMs, and more, so you can set up workflows. And this is best for automation and connecting multiple tools without coding. And we have WhatsApp. So this would let your bot chat with users directly on WhatsApp. Customers can message your business number and the bot will respond instantly. So this is best for customer-facing communication since WhatsApp is widely used. And each one of them would have different setup process. For example, when you click here on integrate with Slack, it will now prompt you into your Slack workspace. So you would need to log in from here. And same goes for the other things right here. So Zapier, you would have to undergo this process. So you would have to follow the on-screen instructions in setting up each one of them right here, depending on which one you need. Because just like I explained earlier, each one of them would have a different function. And now next is the actions. So this is basically where you would be able to define what the bot can do beyond just answering questions. You can think of this as giving the chatbot buttons or commands that trigger specific outcomes. So for example, I'm going to click here on create custom action and then name your action. So for example, I am going to go for give price list right there, and then when to use. So we can go for use at the start of the conversation. As simple as that. So when to use. So you just need to explain when the AI should start using this action, include a description of what this action does, what data it provides, and any updates it makes. So basically, this button is all about providing the customer the list of prices for the services I offer. And then yeah, that's basically it. And then now you can click on save and continue. And then as you can see right here, it says action is not available on this plan because this is only available for the paid plan. You wouldn't be able to activate this, but I will be able to show you on how you can set this up. So we'll go through here. So now we have API. So basically here is that the API setup here in actions lets Chatclient talk directly to your systems. So instead of just replying with a text, the bot can call an API. For example, checking an order status or sending a lead straight to your CRM without making chats. So the a bot can actually act by itself. It's how you make the chatbot part of your real business workflow. But for this one, we'll not be setting this up. You can start setting this up if you'd want to. But this one is just an optional one. If you want to customize that, then I have a separate video for APIs. And then we have the test response. So here we have live response or example response in here. So with a live response, you can test with live data from API to make sure it is configured correctly. Next, here in test response is that I'll also skip this because this is only all about API. Since we haven't set up our API in here, then test response would also mean nothing because there's no API to test in here. So now we'll skip that and go here into data access. So you can go for full data access if you'd want to allow the AI agent to access all available information, ensuring comprehensive responses based on complete data. So most of the time you want to go for full data in here. Instead of limiting data access, it would actually be subjective depending on the case. So you can limit the information the AI agent can access, providing more controlled and specific replies while protecting sensitive data. So if you have something sensitive that the bot might have, then you can go for limit data access in here. But as for me, I'm going to go for full data access. And now, once you are all done, you can now click here on save. But then again, this feature here is only available on the paid plan, so we wouldn't be able to test this out. But that's basically how you can set this up in here. Next, we have agent interface. So this would be applied when you embed Chatclient on a website. So this is how it would look like right here. And then you could go for editing the initial message on how should the bot start the chat, just like this one. So for example, this one right here. Hi there. How can I help you today? So maybe something like this. So it would look like this right here. So you'd have the preview and then you have the suggested message right here. So enter each message in a new line. Like for example, view the pricing plans, or what are the pricing plans? So something like that. And then you could go for another one by going for a new line in here so that you would have another button in here that, or suggestion that the customers can choose from. And next is that how long are the processing time or times, just like that. And you can add as many as you want. And then here we have the theme. So I'm gonna go for light in here most of the time. So you could also go for dark if that's what you want, but I think light would be the best one here. And display name, you can go for Chatclient, or you could rename that into, let's say, my bot right there. And then we have the update profile picture. So you can choose a file for this. You could go for your logo, for example, this one right here. I'm gonna go for this. So our logo here. And let me just reframe just like that. And I'm going to click on attach image, and now you have that profile in here. So that looks cool with your brand. And then you can update the chat icon. So you could also choose this. And for this one, I'm going to choose my logo again. And there it is right here. And attach image. So there it is. So here's how the icon would look like, which you can see right here. And now, you could also go for this one right here. So we have multiple ones. So for example, I can select this one, click on that, and then you'd be able to see that the icon would now change into that one. So that basically depends on how you want to design your icon, but I suggest going for your logo so that it would be branded. And there it is. And now I'm gonna go for the display name color. So you can go for this ones. So if you have a different color scheme, you can change it right here. So This one I'd leave it at white, and this one I'll go for black, just like that, so that it will now be more suitable for my logo color scheme. And then message, background color, which you can see right here, you can go for setting that up also. So I'm gonna go for something, I think, let's see, let's choose a color in here so we can just drag this out, and then we'd be able to see the color change. And I think I'm gonna go for a red instead, or maybe blue is actually already pretty good, so I think I'm just gonna stick to this, and that kind of blue, just like that. And then we have the bot message color, and then the message color something right here, and many more options that you could choose from. So the send icon, I would want to set this to black, and actually I'm just gonna go and set this to black, and then the user message would be white anyway, so there it is. So that would be better. So now it's looking more appropriate for my logo. And next is that we have the align chat bubble button. So you can go for right or you can go for left, depending on how you would want it to be. So I'm gonna go for right. Next, we have the auto show initial messages after seconds. So what this means is how long should the delay be when this bot would start greeting the customer or the visitor on your site. Like for example here, how long should the bot send this message? So what I recommend here is going for 20 seconds or 30. I typically like 30 right here, so that would mean that this would give the customer some time to explore the website, get settled in, and then once 30 seconds passes, then the bot would chat this right here. So it would now open up this chat, and basically it would be like the bot notices the customer right here that is interested in our website, and basically the bot will now pop up ready to help, and in that way it will feel more natural and the customer will be more enticed to use the bot in here and inquire. And then we have the shake chat icon, so you could also enable this if you'd want to make it shake just like that with the animation. So I actually really like that. I think it keeps them engaged. So I'm going to click here on save changes and turn that on. There it is. It is now saving. So let's just wait for that. We have now successfully saved our settings here for agent interface. Now let's go for retrain agent. So this is basically where you can input more data or knowledge into your database in here for your agent. So you can go for text again, files, websites, and the question and answer that we did earlier. So if there's something that you forgot or you'd like to add, this is where you can do that. All right, so now next is that we have the embed on site. So in here, we have two options. So we can add a chat bubble at the bottom right of our website, and then we would need to add the script tag to our HTML. And if you'd want to add the agent anywhere on your website, you want to add the iframe to your HTML code. Now, I know this looks scary or confusing because it's code, but don't worry, you don't need any coding skills for you to be able to install or embed the Chatclient onto your website. It's just a simple copy and paste. It just you just need to locate on where you'd want to paste this. So now let me show you. First, you want to choose which of this one would you like to do. So if you go for the first one, which is this one, then this would be fixed on the bottom right of your website in every page. If you go for this one, then this would be a custom HTML block on the page where you would want the chatbot to appear. So in short, use this if you'd want a floating chat bubble across the whole site, and use this one if you would want the chatbot embedded inside a specific page. Now, I would want this to be in the whole site, so I'm going to go and copy this on the first one right here. Clear and copy. And then you would want to go into your site admin. So now I'm here in WordPress. I'm currently using this platform for my site. Now, you could also use other sites as well. So if you're using other sites, it might be a little bit different for you. So you would have to research more on that. And for this one, I'm going to go as beginner friendly as possible in installing this. So no coding would be involved in here. But if you do want to code, if you're fine with that, then you can just go into the appearance right here. and then go into theme file editor, and then you can find the code there, and that is where you'd want to paste the script that we have copied here from Chat Client. And now the other way, for which is very beginner friendly with no coding involved, is that we're going to go into plugin. We're going to install a plugin in here, and you can also try this out in other platforms. So you're going to click here on add plugin button right here, because we'll be installing one, and we're going to search for one right here. So that would be the insert header and footers. So this is the name of the plugin, and I'm going to search for that right here, and then we now have this one. So this is what we need. So I'm going to click here on install now, and that's it. So this is what I'm looking for, and then you can click on activate. Now that it's activated, next you would want to go here into the settings, and in here you want to go here for the headers and footers. So you can see that right here, WP headers and footers. So you can see that, and now you want to go here, and here is the plugin that we have just installed, and now you're going to click here on allow and continue. And now let's just wait for that, and then here it is. So now just locate the scripts and footer. So this is what we want, because we'll be putting our chat icon at the bottom right, so that would be in the footer. So you want to paste the script in here. So again, go here, copy this right there, and then go back, copy and paste. That's it. So now once you have pasted that, you want to click on save changes, and just wait for that to be saved, and then you can now preview your site. So now I'm going to go into my site right here. So I'm going to click on visit site. And now here it is. As you can see, we now have our chat icon here at the bottom right, and you can see that we also have the shaking animation because we have activated that here in the agent interface with this one right here turned on. So now it's currently shaking, and once we wait for 30 seconds to pass, it should also make a chat right away. So let's just wait for that for a bit, and then when we open that, and we now have this one right here. And again, we have these buttons in here on the suggestions that we have set up, like what are the pricing plans, and then you can see that respond right here, and then also the lead form that we have just set up, you could also see that. And that's basically how easy it is on how you could set up or embed your chat client into your website. And actually, I'm gonna turn this off because I find it very distracting. And yeah, so I'll just turn that off in here, and it should now be updated. And now that's basically everything in here, because the last button here would be to delete your chatbot. That's how you can delete that if you want to. And that's it on how you'd be able to set up your chatbot agent. So that's basically it on how you can set up your chatbot. And now we'll be proceeding into the other things, is that we're just going to go back here into my agents, and we also have the settings here before we go into our bot, is that we can edit our team name here, the general team name. You can edit that, and then the members that is included into your team here in Chat Client. So this is where you'd be able to see them. You could also invite them. If you have the paid plan, then you'd be able to invite members here. You could also delete the team if you'd want. And now next thing that we'll be talking about would be the pricing plans, as this is absolutely necessary if you're going to use Chat Client in real scenarios. And now you can just click on pricing at the top menu in here, and then you'll now be prompted here. So now first is that you want to select the billing cycle. You can go for monthly or yearly. However, if you don't want to save in the long run, you want to go for yearly, because you'd get 2 months for free. So you'll only get to pay 10 months for a yearly subscription. You can also go for monthly if you just want to try it out for a month. Then you can just choose one here. Now let me tell you on what each plan is. So we have the free plan right here, just like I said earlier. This is your starting point. It gives you the basic access to fast AI models and core features like embedding, lead capture, and conversation history. It's designed for individuals or small projects who want to experiment with Chatclient and understand how it fits into the workflow before committing. But take note, this is just 15 message credits. So if this is consumed, it is very small, it is easily consumed. So you wouldn't be able to use the chatbot anymore and it will not be able to respond. Now we have Hobby. So this plan unlocks stronger AI models and more usage capacity. It's ideal for creators or small businesses who need more advanced responses and flexibility, but don't yet require team collaboration or complex automation. Think of it as a step up from testing into consistent use. So in this one, you'd get 2,000 credits here. So that's a lot. And then we have the standard. So this plan introduces integrations, API access, and multi-agent support. It's built for small teams who want Chatclient to connect with their existing systems and automate workflows. This plan suits growing businesses that need collaboration, scalability, and deeper customization. And then we have a Pro plan. So this is the enterprise level option. It expands credits, agents, and actions while adding advanced features like human escalation and branding control. This plan is tailored for agencies or businesses that want Chatclient fully embedded into their customer engagement strategy with maximum flexibility and professional polish. So by now, you know what each plan is. So you can just read the specific details in here, the specific inclusions on what the inclusions are. And in that way, you could see if which plan fits all your needs. Also, you can scroll down if you'd want a more comprehensive comparison view. So you can compare each plan in here. So that's it. And by now, you should have an idea on which plan to choose. So just choose one. For example, we'll be going for Hobby. You can click on Get Started. And then from there, you'll now be prompted into the checkout page. So let's just wait for that to load, and it will now load in a bit. And once you're here into the checkout page, which is basically PayPal, you just need to log in into your PayPal account in here, and then you'll be able to pay using the PayPal method. You could also use a card in there. So that's how you'd be able to buy the subscription in here or avail this. So just click on this Get Started button in here. And with that, you will now be able to purchase a subscription, and now you can confidently use Chatclient after you have watched this video, because I have discussed the full tutorial on how you could set this up. So that's basically it for this video. And don't forget, if you'd want to try out Chatclient and want to get a paid subscription, then you can try our link in the description below so that you can go here easily and you get some benefits along with that. So that is also an affiliate link, and you'll be able to support this channel if you use that link. So thank you in advance. Only if you want to use it though, no pressure. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.